there's a lot of structure, but there's no rules really. And so it's really, really great to be able to come to a community and say, we want to help you implement art, in your community, and it's up to you, the content, the medium, the location. And so to be able to give someone such a great gift, and then to be able to come from a place and say, from within and say, we want you to talk about your identity. We want you to talk about what's important for you. We want to know what you want to celebrate in your community. We want to know if you want to voice, if there's political awareness that needs to happen. Whatever that is, to be able to back up a community and be an advocate for a community, like as well as for the museum, I think it's wonderful. And I also think that this grant and this project was written for me, and I'm really, really excited. The structure of the project, and I'll start from the very beginning, the museum was granted from the James Irvine Foundation a wonderful, generous grant to be able to do this in 4 different neighborhoods. And so our 2 neighborhoods to begin with are Lincoln Park and Logan Heights. Within that budget, part of the project was to hire 3 people, to hire a project coordinator, which is myself, to hire an artist in residence, which is Mr. Roberto Salas, and to hire a lead artist. And the rule for the lead artist was that that lead artist had to live within that area.
To me, public art and my personal art are a very separate kind of thing. There can be a mix of that, but my own personal work, it can be anything from photography to painting to sculpture to that, but that's just stuff that somebody may never see. I don't do a lot of like gallery shows and that kind of stuff. It's not really that important to me. But because the work that I do that's so public, which is public art, that's the stuff that's out there. That's the stuff that I give to people, very freely and openly. And that's what I really love about public art, actually.
I am a local artist, and I work closely with the community of Logan Heights usually. My volunteer work has always been within the community. And so I've been involved with the Dia de los Muertos at the Sherman Heights Community Center. I've been involved with the Chicano Park restoration of the murals. And so when I found that I could apply for this job to be the project coordinator for the Open Spaces program, I combined my 2 lives, and I was given the opportunity to be here.
Well, it seems like this particular grant was written for me, only because of the fact that this is the type of work I've been engaged with. I have a lot of experience working with communities of different ethnic backgrounds, geographic backgrounds. I've worked from the Arctic Circle to America Samoa, and I'm good at this. And I believe that my job here is to become a catalyst. And that's the key word, because I can inspire, I can bring things out of you that you never even imagined that you could create. And I'm very good at that. I can bring out that inner child of creativity that's locked in there. And it could be a young kid or it could be a senior citizen. The whole spectrum. I know how to motivate, I know how to ask the right questions to get people to create. And I've just had this wonderful experiences that once we do that, then the possibilities are endless.
My artistic practice is based around working with communities, developing public projects in collaboration with different community members and community leaders. So when I saw the opportunity to develop a project here in Logan Heights where I was living, while I was working between Tijuana, San Diego, and LA, I was very excited to have the opportunity to work in my own community and to work together to develop something.
And that engagement of community, it's how can we actually bring the community forth to make something that they will be proud of and be able to show to other people. Or be able to say, well, our neighborhood is changing and for the better. And everybody wants their neighborhood, their surroundings to look better.
Lincoln Park has in the past been, well, is still an underserved neighborhood in San Diego. It's one of the worst neighborhoods in San Diego, I guess you could say. And you know, they have gone through a lot of transition, but it's still very underserved. We may have a community center that is doing a lot in bringing back jobs and, you know, doing a lot for the people from that community, but at the same time, we still have a lot of other area that needs to be covered, a lot of space, a lot of there's places that are known for its violence. How do we come in and help? How do we come in and create something, manifest something physical, you know, that can not only just honor history, but, you know, take the opportunity with this project to really, really show the different options, you know, show that art can change not just a space, but can really touch someone to the core, and you see the possibilities of being able to do something different. I think that's really important.
So I think the one thing that people kept returning to, or the one thing that at least we responded to and we were hearing a lot, had to do with this notion of being inclusive, or of trying to develop something that included all of the community and was representative of all the, and when I say community, I actually mean communities, right? Like community geographically, but within Logan Heights and greater area, there's many smaller communities and neighborhoods, each with their own histories, each with their own cultures. So I think people really wanted to develop a project that represented all of them and that they could all feel ownership over, and that they could all feel an equal share in developing and in shaping it.
We meet with the community and then we talk about what the community's needs are. We talk about what they would like to see as far as art, what they would like to, you know, what they feel is necessary for that specific community. And for our first meeting, I think it was really, really interesting and really exciting to see people there who were excited about what was going to happen. And not knowing, just like we don't know exactly what they're going to choose, or we don't know, you know, if it's going to be a sculpture, a mural, or a mosaic.
Public art to me is always very specific, exactly specific to the place that I'm putting it, exactly specific to the community that I'm doing it with or in. Generally with is usually how I like to work. And anything is, depending on what the budget is, depending on what the people are looking for, is what I bring to it.
And it's things like those that really make you think about, you know, what does this neighborhood need, and how do we tie these things together, and, you know, how do we create bigger networks so that, you know, we can help with art and in just building bridges and networks. Like, how do we come up with better plans for our youth, for our elders, for the violence? How do we address those things?
People are coming together from all of these various disciplines and all these areas of expertise, and they're bringing that knowledge here to try to imagine something different, something bigger, something that can span and speak to the entire community in a way that you don't find already here.
I think that the museum realized that we can go beyond the museum's four walls. We can go beyond just doing outreach, you know, within the schools, because we know schools are lacking art.
Everyone is working together to try and envision another way of representing culture, of representing history, of trying to develop something that's emblematic of the people that live here.
There is a little bit of public art here, but it's not much. And I think that public art can be really, really positive.
And then once we set the example, it can go further. And I think it's that power of one that everybody talks about. It's really true. You start doing something and there might be some negative people say, well, why are you doing that? Why are you painting that? It's going to be graffiti. Well, it's because we have to start and set that example.
The one thing that I've learned being here at the San Diego Museum of Art is that the core really is about experiencing art. Taking that same mission based on the root of what art can do for someone, and, you know, bringing it to a community to engage people to experience art is amazing.